Okay, here we go. I'm a sympathetic person. True now. When I was young, I often use words and phrases from movies and televisions and conversations. I wouldn't say often. Sometimes. I wouldn't say I do this, but I hate never true. Like, I sometimes do. Not really. I am often surprised when others tell me I have been rude. Nah. Sometimes I talk too loudly or too softly, and I'm not aware of it. Yeah, that's true. I often don't know how to act in social situations. I don't think that's true. I can put myself in other people's shoes. Yep. I have... What do you mean, okay, bud? I have a hard time figuring out what some phrases mean, like you are the apple of my eye. No. I only like to talk to people who share my special interest. Nah. I focus on details rather than the overall idea. No. I always notice how foods feel in my mouth. This is more important to me than how it tastes. No. I miss my best friends or family when we are apart for a long time. What's this? This is the autism test. This has been a really big struggle with me because all of my friends always say that they miss me. I don't really feel like I miss people all that much. Like, I'm super happy when I see people, but I don't really miss people all that much. I don't really think about people who aren't in my everyday life all the time. Sometimes I offend others by saying what I'm thinking, even if I don't mean to. Yeah. I only like to think and talk about food. Nah. I'd rather go out to eat in a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. No. I cannot imagine what it would be like to be somebody else. I can imagine that. I've been told that I'm clumsy or uncoordinated. Nah, not really. I am sometimes, but nobody like tells me that. Others consider me odd or different. I wouldn't say people would pick me out from a crowd and go, she's different, you know? Like, if I'm like talking to a person like at work or in the grocery store, they're not going to consider me odd or different. Well, yeah, I'm weird, but like, people don't think that of me initially, you know what I'm saying? You don't project it out. No. It's called masking. No, it's called code switching. It's called knowing where you are and acting appropriately. Not everything is masking. I've gone into the whole masking thing. One of my best friends is autistic. So we've gone down that road before. I'm not trying to pretend I'm something I'm not. I just, you know, there's a certain part of you that you allow the public to see, and there's a certain part that don't. Good designs, Ghosty's. I mean, I do think I'm weird, but I don't think people would be like, oh, she's weird, you know? I think most people would think I'm pretty normal until they got to know me, you know? You guys are forgetting I'm a VTuber. Like, if I was a face streamer, I might be talking a little different, you know? At the end of the day, if I really fuck up, I can just turn off my PC. You know what I'm saying? This is how you be anonymous, guys. Like, you're not in order to pass within an outside social group. See, but that's so vague and not just like everybody does that to some extent, you know? You're kind of a sociopath if you don't. There's certain parts of yourself that your work sees, that random stranger sees, that people see, that your church sees, that your mom sees, you know? It's not like you're hiding who you are or you're trying to... Masking, in a sense, is trying to kind of be someone you're not in order to fit in. That's not what I'm doing there. What I'm doing is just like behaving in a social setting. That's not like pretending something I'm not. I'm not going to go in there. A lot of masking people will be like, oh yeah, you like trains. I like trains too, even though I don't like trains. That's what masking does. And that's why so many women, especially with autism, have trouble fitting in because they can't hold up the act. You know? Because they're trying to be agreeable more than they're just trying to be like, oh, these ladies are all super incredibly proper, so I'm going to be more proper around them so I don't stick out like a sore thumb. Everybody masks to some extent. I wouldn't say others consider me odd or different. I really wouldn't. I'd say you guys do, but I wouldn't say people in real life consider this of me. I wouldn't say that. I understand when friends need to be comforted. I'm very sensitive to the way clothes feel when I touch them. How they feel is more important. Yeah, everyone does that to some extent. To the way clothes feel when I touch them. How they feel is more important than how they look. This is one of the things I've talked to Grimmy about before, because Grimmy was like, do the tags on your shirt bother you? And I was like, not particularly. I wouldn't say I'm very sensitive to the way clothes feel, but I would say how they feel is more important to me than how they look, because I don't care about fashion. T-shirt tag. Yeah, so Grimmy says that she has to cut off every tag in her shirts, otherwise they don't feel right and they'll itch her. Who would slam his head on the floor whenever he had to wear socks. Yeah. Very much for me. Could not wear jeans as a kid because of the feel. Tags piss me off. That's great. Have you ever touched in those really gross slippery track pants? Oh no, I love the gross slippery track pants. I know exactly what you're talking about. Those are my favorite. I don't like corduroy. And Sherpa. I hate the feeling of Sherpa. It sends like chills down my spine. I don't like that like wool feeling. I don't like that. If you climb Mount Everest, no. She's using the rub hair off my legs. I wouldn't say I'm very sensitive, but I think it's never true here. I don't really care all that much. I like to copy the way certain people speak and act. It helps me appear normal. No. I'm the main character. People usually adjust to me. It can be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same. No. Okay, queen. Yeah. I have to act normal to please other people and make them like me. I fucking wish, dude. I'm never that coy. That's why I constantly bomb sometimes. Meeting new people is usually easy for me. Yep. I get highly confused when someone interrupts me when I'm talking about something I'm very interested. No. It is difficult for me to understand how other people are feeling when we are talking. No. I like having conversation with several people, for instance, around a dinner table at school or work. True. I take things too literally, so I often miss what people are trying to say. True in text messages, not in face-to-face. True over message or when things are typed out, never face-to-face. I don't... I'm going to say never true because I think this is meaning overall and broad. When I'm face-to-face with somebody, I do not misinterpret what they're trying to say to me. It's very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous. No, I get secondhand embarrassment so bad, bro. I don't think reliable as a survey is definitely interesting how individuals answer. Yeah. Some ordinary textures that do not bother others feel very offensive when they touch my skin. Nah. I get extremely upset when the way I like to do things is suddenly changed. True. But I'm OCD. I'm OCD. There is a specific way I have to do things. I have never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. Never true. I need love. It is difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep going until I'm finished. Nah. I speak with a normal rhythm. What does that mean? I think a lot of people nowadays mistake having poor social skills. I agree. You don't Shatner, no stuttering. Not really. I have stuttering moments. It's not like consistent. I think sometimes I talk too fast and then I trip over my words. Would you guys say I have normal rhythm? Oh, I do not have normal rhythm. Oh. You say you do, you won't attract the worm of the night. It's at the rhythm of the night. Oh, oh. Oh, God. The same sound, color, or texture can suddenly change from very sensitive to very dull. No? The phrase, I've got you under my skin, makes me... No. Sometimes the sound of a word or a high-pitched noise can be painful to my ear. Nope. I am understanding type of person. Yeah. I do not connect with characters in movies and cannot feel what they feel. I don't really watch movies in which they need me to connect with them. I watch really shitty movies. I watch really awful, awful movies. I watch Tubi original movies. That's all I pretty much watch. I would say I can, though. Cannot tell when someone's flirting with me. Why is there no, like, maybe here? Sometimes I can. I don't know. I kind of miss that shit a lot. I can't tell. I can see in the minds and exact detail things that I am interested in. I can see in my mind in exact detail things that I'm interested in. What does that mean? I can see in my mind in exact detail things that I'm interested in. Can you picture shit in your head? Okay, sort of. I definitely do, because I know that thing going around that's like some people can't picture shit at all. I can rotate an apple, but like I can't really do much to it. Like some people can like change the apple, but I can only change the apple based off of like I don't know. It's a basic red apple. Yeah, I can cut it in half. But like I can like visualize it, but I can't at the same time, if that makes sense. Like I can visualize it. And so it's a sorta, yeah. Shut up, Venus. Cause like I can see it, but like the more I try to focus on it, the more it's gone. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like if I try to hone in on the details, it just kind of vanishes. Gotta get loosey goosey with it. I'm not high for that. The question is exact. Probably not. I keep lists of things that interest me, even when they have no practical use. For example, sports statistic, train schedules. No. When I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself to shut them down. No. I like to talk things over with my friends. Yep. I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I'm saying. No, I can tell. It can be very hard to read someone's face, hand, and body movements when they are talking. No. The same thing, like clothes or temperatures, can feel very different to me at different times. No. I feel very comfortable with dating or being in a social situation with others. Yep. I try to be as helpful as I can when other people tell me their personal problems. Yep. I have been told that I have an unusual voice. For example, if flat, monotone, childish, or high pitched. Yep. Sometimes a thought or subject gets stuck in my head and I have to talk about it even if no one's interested. No. I do certain things with my hands over and over again, like flapping, twirling sticks or strings, waving things by my eyes. Nope. I have never been interested in what most people I know consider interesting. No. I am considered a compassionate type of person. True. I get along with other people by following a set of specific rules that help me look no. No. It is very difficult for me to work and function in groups. No. When I'm talking to someone, it is hard to change the subject. If the other person does so, I can get very upset and confused. No. Sometimes I have to cover my ears to block out painful noises. No. I can chat and make small talk with people. Yep. Sometimes things that should feel painful are not. For instance, when I hurt myself or burn my hand on the stove. You don't fidget? No. The fish? I mean, I like to talk about the fish, but that's usually whenever they're brought up or whenever I bring them. It's not like I can't get off the topic of fish. Autistic people move their hands only when I'm trying to pick my nose. No, I don't really fidget. I have a fidget spinner once it was popular. I like it occasionally, but I don't really give a shit. 100% autistic people have burned their hand on the stove. 100% of autistic people pick their nose. Everyone picks their nose. That's crazy because the pain response is not even in your head. It's decided locally. Knowledge about fish is what neurotypical people call useless knowledge. My knowledge about fish is due to me wanting to care for fish and having research and going into these things makes me a better fish keeper. Should have a fish off with Egg. Egg likes to go fishing, not to own fish. You, does picking nose mean autism? Masochist or autistic? I wouldn't say that. I don't know, because I have a really high pain tolerance, and more often than not, things happen, then I don't notice it. I would say yes to this. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it's my turn to talk or listen. Not really. I'm considered alone. No. I usually speak in a normal tone. No. I like things to be exactly the same day after day, even small change. Oh my god, no. How to make friends and socialize is a mission. No. It calms me to spin around or to rock in a chair when I'm feeling. No. The phrase "he wears his heart on his sleeve" does not make sense to me. That makes sense. If I am in a place where there are many smells, textures to feel, noises, or bright lights, I feel nope. I can tell when someone says one thing but means something else. True. I like to be no. I keep my thoughts stacked in my memory like they are on filing cards, and I pick out the ones I need by looking through the stack and finding what? No. I enjoy spending time eating and talking with yeah. This is all I fucking do. You perceive? I do that one. Really? Like the SpongeBob thing where he's got a filing cabinet in his brain? I can't tolerate things I dislike. Nah, I can tolerate it. I don't like being hugged. I love being hugged and held. When I go somewhere, I have to follow a familiar route or I can get very confused. No. It is difficult to figure out what other people expect of me. No. I like to have close friends. Yes. People tell me that I give too much detail. No. I'm often told that I ask embarrassing questions. No. I tend to point out other people's mistakes. See, I struggle with this one because I'm a dick. Not because I have to. Isn't it natural to go the route you're most familiar with? I mean, I think it can be. Just like I feel nothing. It's really like a punch card system for me. Have all my habits, behaviors. I wouldn't say. I know what they're asking. That's not what they mean. The same sounds sometimes seem very no. Your score falls below the clinical thresholds for autism, but that's only part of the story. The RAADS-R measures traits across 4 domains. The scores under 65 can still reveal meaningful patterns in how you process social situations, sensory input, and daily routines. Many people who score in this range share traits associated with ADHD, sensory sensitivity, or social processing differences that shape daily life without meeting the autism threshold. The personalized report shows you where your profile stands out. That's low, pretty low, crazy low. I told you guys I have OCD and ADD. I do not have autism. I dead ass. I don't have autism. I've told everybody this and everyone keeps insisting I have autism. I have OCD and ADD. OCD test. I'll show you guys. Have you saved up so many things that they get in the way? Extremely. I check things more often than necessary. Extremely. I get upset if objects are not arranged properly. Extremely. I feel compelled to count while I'm doing things. Moderately. I find it difficult to touch an object when I know it's been touched by strangers extremely. I find it difficult to control my own thought. I'm going to say a lot with this. It depends who it is. I guess it says certain people. Extremely. I find it difficult to control my own thoughts. Extremely. I collect things I don't need. Yes. A lot. I repeatedly check doors, windows, drawers. Extremely. I get upset if others change the way I've... I feel I have to repeat certain numbers. A little. I sometimes have to wash or clean myself simply because I feel contaminated. Moderately. I am upset by unpleasant thoughts that come to my mind against my will. Extremely. I avoid throwing things away because I'm afraid I'll... I repeatedly check gas and water taps and light switches after turning them on. I need things to be right, yes. I feel that there are good and bad numbers. Oh, yeah. I wash my hands more often and longer than necessary. I frequently get nasty thoughts and have difficulty getting rid of them. Can you do a type racing? I've actually been wanting to play a typing game for the last 2 streams. That's why it's manifesting a type A personality, because I've been wanting to play a typing game. Please take a moment to answer the following optional questions. Your answers are totally anonymous. We won't be able to identify you based on this information. Your answers help us provide. What is the main thing you want to do after taking a mental health test? Yeah, Typing of the Dead is what I was gonna play! They're asking me a lot of questions. OCD likely. 52 out of 60. Hoarding! I gotta take a picture of this. I gotta take a picture, send this to people. Send this to my roommate who's been calling me a hoarder lately because of all the fish. I told you guys, I'm OCD. Ordering, obsessing, washing. Experiencing some signs of OCD. Experiencing signs of a hoarding disorder. Sheesh. Yeah. That's why I was saying, guys. That's why I was saying. That's why I was saying, you know. That's why I was saying.